Thank you so much for staying with us. We're getting into our second conversation, and we're looking at cybersecurity. Now, over the years, the growth of the internet and its wide usage has led to an increase in security threats. Across the world, several internet-assisted crimes known as cybercrimes are committed daily in various forms, such as fraudulent electronic mails, pornography, identity theft, hacking, cyber harassment, spamming, ATM spoofing, piracy, phishing, and more.
Wow, you name it, Tolu, because cybercrime is a threat against various institutions and people who are, connected to the internet either through their computers or mobile technologies. Now, the exponential increase of this crime in this society has become a serious issue that should not be overlooked, as the impact of this kind of crime can be felt on lives and economy and international reputation of a nation. Now, with COVID-19 pandemic still around, working from home has become a new reality for organizations and their employees.
But as convenient as this may sound, it is fraught with its own challenges. From a cybersecurity perspective, working from home presents significant risks to organizations and individuals because cyber criminals around the world are capitalizing on the crisis, and that makes the need to secure the remote workforce an ever-growing concern. But with devices that keep us connected to our bank accounts, social media accounts, email accounts, and more constantly, we run the danger of having personal and private information fall into the hands of those who can hack it.
But our guest today is Confidence Staveley. She's an ethical hacker, cybersecurity expert, and executive director of CyberSafe Foundation. Good morning, Confidence. Welcome back to Breakfast Central.
Good morning. It's good to be back here.
All right, let's start with this because we'll get into the video that went viral over the weekend in Nigeria. But cybersecurity has become a very big challenge, and it's literally at the top of the list even for nations across the world and across the continent. And you have secure organizations like the Pentagon being hacked, people like Apple being hacked with as much security as they have. But what really do you think is fueling this issue globally and particularly here in Nigeria?
I mean, the COVID-19 pandemic has played its own major role in driving insecurity, creating the panic that's required as a backdrop for cyber criminals to commit, more havoc. Also the fact that the pandemic thrust us into work from home without any prior notice, which means that organizations that were not prepared for the swift move and enabling a remote workforce needed to do that urgently without the prerequisite. They didn't have the time to put in the prerequisite technology, processes and everything to keep these workers remotely working safely. And so this has also fueled things. We also know that because of bad practices, bad basic security practices. I mean, we saw some of them recently, when an employee had a major password for a server that was the name of the company and 123 added to it, very basic password hygiene has not been picked up, and you find that a lot of organizations are paying the big price for it. A huge adoption also of cloud technologies without going the full yard, the full length security and configurations of those servers online is also driving quite a lot of cybercrime. We also know authoritatively that the human component has not been fully covered, with cybersecurity awareness trainings for employees, and that has been a loophole because it's become way easier to hack a human being than it is to hack a computing system. So some of these factors have added to, the fact that basic COVID-19 was there to thrust us into remote working without, going through what needs to go through to put in the defenses and the mechanisms to protect remote workforce, to basic cyber hygiene best practices put at the back burner, to the human factor, and of course, those things have then combined together to fuel an increase in cyber crimes.
Okay.
All right. At Confidence, we have seen a serious increase in cybercrime. In fact, we also had a video we trended at the weekend. We're going to look at that and perhaps how we can now practice what you just called password hygiene. Let's take a look at this one.
Well, I'm mashing. Wire SIM transaction. So SIM transaction local wire any alert sim tí bá ti rí tó bá ń lo bank máa ṣiṣẹ́ lórí ẹ̀ máa yọ lórí ẹ̀ máa withdraw máa
tún ṣàlàyé fún mi sí
tó bá jẹ́ pé wọ́n mú síìmù fún mi sìn bí any alert sim pé wọ́n á tẹ kóòdù yẹn *425*100# tó show bank ẹni ẹ̀ ń lò so tí bá fẹ́ reset pin yẹn ó máa béèrè account number ẹni yẹn àti date of birth ẹni yẹn account number yẹn wọ́n máa ń save sórí contact àwọn máa ń save sórí contact tó bá tún wá rí account number yẹn lórí contact ẹni yẹn BVN yẹn máa fi wá gbé details ẹ̀ jáde so tó bá tún wá gbé jáde báyẹn máa register tó bá tún wá register bank ẹni yẹn máa ṣe transfer.
Wow, confidence. I watching that video again, you know, I cringe even with the translations and the subtitles there. So how do we then practice this, you know, what you've termed password hygiene? Because, and is that the only way to keep us safe, especially on our devices?
Okay, so password hygiene is one of several ways, and I'm going to refer to that video multiple times.
Okay.
A lot of people use their date of birth as their PIN. A PIN is a type of a password, really. Okay. And so because of that, it's easy for people like him to obtain your mobile device, you know, and you just think, oh, my phone has been stolen and the person is just going to sell it. No, it's not going to happen that way anymore. They will first, you know, drain your bank account because they have physical access. And in cybersecurity, we say that once someone has physical access to something, to a computing device, they have full complete access because they can do a whole lot more with that. So you see that safeguarding your phone is very important. You have to have what is called a SIM lock on your phone. That way, when cyber criminals, you know, steal from you in terms of taking the physical device, and they take out the SIM to try and insert into another phone, maybe because you have a phone lock, and they try to make a transaction, they're unable to register that SIM on a new phone because you have a SIM lock. That's one. Two, they are, you know, avoiding using dates, you know, like your birthday as your PIN is very, very important because that's where people like this can get away with what they're doing. Another key thing and very strong factor in cybersecurity is incident handling. So your phone has been stolen. What do you do next? You know exactly what to do quickly because a stitch in time saves 9 in cybersecurity. This is so true. In fact, it's double true. So when your phone has been stolen, you need to know the exact right steps to take immediately to salvage the situation. A lot of people do not know that their banks have dedicated USSD codes that once your phone is stolen, you can dial that code on someone else's phone and you're able to deactivate your USSD banking profile. These things exist with most of the banks. I think from what I have so far, I've collected 14 of these codes for most of the top banks in Nigeria. So you need to find out what these codes are. And if time permits me, I can quickly reel them out. But these codes exist. So when your phone is stolen, someone, even if you don't have the SIM lock or any other feature to protect you, you can quickly lock your bank account, your USSD banking profile until you're able to physically go into the bank and lift that ban, and then you can continue on your new device. Of course, with changes made to ensure that you're not, you know, someone is not able to, you know, use this situation to steal from you.
All right, Staveley, I'll make sure that we'll get your
codes from you.
The codes from you, especially on your Twitter account. So really that on Twitter. Don't worry, we'll go there.
So Confidence, it's good that you mentioned the banks because they're also victims. Now, Nigerian financial services fraud has been estimated at over 197 billion naira annually. We've also seen a sharp increase in the amounts that Nigerian banks lose to cybercrimes and forgeries. In 2017, it was 2.37 billion. By 2018, it had increased to 539% to 15.15 billion naira. So this is obviously a very serious issue. While customers need to be responsible on their own, you've mentioned the USSD code that banks have. What else can banks do to help customers keep their accounts safe?
Okay.
I mean, banks can really invest in cybersecurity awareness. And I say this because, you know, with more of the fraud cases that are happening, the uptake of digital banking services and also the ability for banks to pull in the excluded population into the, into banking systems becomes more and more cumbersome and tedious because then, you know, the news of one person being defrauded spreads in the community. So banks need to work more around cybersecurity awareness, you know, to their customers, and you know, leverage many different strategies to reach different type of customers. Because while many banks, I agree, doing a lot of email cybersecurity awareness, email-based, that email newsletters contain something, to educate people. I believe that it should be a mix, because then you will only be able to reach certain kind of customers if you use email.
All right.
But if you're able to also take it down to the grassroots people that also have their 20Ks, their 100Ks, their 500Ks in the bank, you be able to reach them at their own level of understanding. It will help in driving down driving down cybercrime numbers and success rates. So I think it's a combination, and I really want to say that I think with all that's happened, and I'm beginning to see, there are indications that the banking industry is beginning to open its arms slightly wider enough to accommodate other players in the ecosystem that can help them. To be able to drive this, it's beginning to become a thing. So I'm sure you're going to get to see that in a couple of months' time. But these are lessons that have been learned, that the financial ecosystem is saying we can't do this on our own. We need to work more with other people to drive awareness, because this is a problem. I call it Ebola of the banking system, and we all need to work collectively together, because these cyber criminals are working together and sharing information. That's why that guy can know the whole steps, what to do, to defraud someone. So we need to share more and work together.
Okay, speaking about working together, confidence. See, there have been lots of talk about the cyber criminals themselves, strategies including collaborating and even working together with the security agents themselves and the bank officials, and local and international networking. Where do we go from here? Because if they are working together with these organizations, then where does that leave the customer?
Sorry, I didn't quite understand your question.
Collusion between some of these cyber criminals and the officials of security and banking, and the banking officials themselves. Collusion.
Okay, so insider threats, I think, across the world. Maybe I don't know the figures in comparison. Maybe they're a bit higher on this side of the world. But I must say that if you have put in place the basic measures to protect yourself, it's easier to make a case, against your mobile telecommunications provider, because again, the SIM swap fraud we've seen, that's a version that's narrated that doesn't involve an insider. There's a version that involves an insider where there's nothing you can do to protect yourself. In that case, you can then take that telecom service provider to court. You can complain to your bank, because this has happened only because somebody inside the bank has given your details to someone, and there are cases where customers have won. There are many cases where customers have won. So we need to know that we have this right. We have this place. The Consumer Protection Department in CBN does work, actually, and I've seen that happen a couple of times. So it's important that as a customer that you have a right. If you suspect that what has happened to you, there's a hand of an insider in it, that organization will definitely pay you, for what has happened. So know this, and of course, take action once you see any signs of it.
All right, Confidence, we have to let you go. Unfortunately, time is not with us, but we do want you to roll out those USSD codes for some of the banks that you have in Nigeria. I know there are people who are watching. We've seen people share on social media how their family members, their mothers, their parents, older people, unfortunately, have fallen prey to this and had their accounts wiped out. So this is information that people will definitely put to you. So if you can quickly roll us through the USSD codes linked to the specific banks that people can use, that if they find themselves in this situation using any other phone, they can immediately shut down their USSD accounts.
Okay, so for Access Bank to deactivate your USSD profile, immediately your phone is stolen. Pick up any other phone and dial *901 *911 #. So it will take you through the steps to be able to, block your account, your USSD account. Of course, you will need to have your account number to be able to do this. Also, FCMB is *329 #. Then for Fidelity Bank is *770 *911 #. And for First Bank, all you need to do is send the word block to 30012. For GT Bank, all you need to do is dial *737 *51 *10 #. And for Keystone Bank, all you need to do is dial *7111 *911 #. And then for Stanbic IBTC Bank, all you need to do is dial *909 #. And of course, look for the option to block your USSD banking profile. For Stanbic IBTC, for Stanbic IBTC is *909 #. For Sterling Bank, it's *822 *911 #. And for UBA, it's *919*9#. For Union Bank, you will need to send the word block card Nuban as 3 different words, block card Nuban, to 20123. For Unity Bank, you need to dial *7799 your phone number # to block your USSD banking profile. For Wema Bank, which is second to last on my list here, is *945*911#. And for Zenith Bank, is *966*911#. All these codes are live and working as of today and can help you block your USSD profile, because if you are able to do it quickly, by the time the cyber criminals are trying to use your SIM card, they'll be unable to make transactions.
All right.
So if anybody missed that, don't worry. Just make sure you're following us on all of our social media platforms. We'll get it for confidence and make sure that we share them as well. At News Central TV. I noticed some very prominent banks that are not there. That's a conversation Confidence and myself will have behind the scenes. But Confidence Staveley, ethical hacker, cybersecurity experts, and executive director of Cyber Safe Foundation, as always, is a pleasure. And I know we'll be having you back as we continue to try to educate viewers on how to keep safe in this very cyber world we live in now. Thank you, Confidence.
Thank you. Have a great day, guys.
Wow, that was quite a lot, wasn't it?
It was.
Wow, at least my bank is inside, so I'm going to go and...
One of my banks is inside, because like many Nigerians, we have multiple accounts. And I've noted, as I said, there are some prominent banks that don't
let's go. I want to start dialing. All right, catch us.
Which one do you want to do first? Lock your SIM or do that?
I have to do this, but we got to go. So catch us again on social media. Confidence will reveal everything for you. We'll be here tomorrow once again, 8 a.m. West African time for Breakfast Central on News Central with Olisa and Tolu. Don't forget, catch Village Square Africa later today at 7 p.m. West African time. Sulaiman will be there to talk about everything for you later on the program. And we've got the news just after this break, after the program. So we'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.